Family, friends, and family, welcome and thank you for being here on this incredibly special day in their lives. We're gathered to celebrate the special love between Alli and Joe by joining in the bond of marriage. It was this very place where Joe proposed to Alli, and they started to plan this beautiful day.
Matt and Brooke were my parents' next door neighbors, and they were the ones who were like, hey, Alli, you should meet this guy. And Alli's like, no. They just kept saying, you should really meet this guy. So finally, Alli was like, okay.
So the first time I met Alli is actually the first time Joe did too.
So finally, Alli was like, all right, I'll go on this date with this guy. And she's been messaging this kid, random guy from Facebook, back and forth.
Now, it was basically like this random guy that texted Alli, and she's probably like, who the hell is this guy?
And finally, she decides to go on this date with this kid from Wabasha. Like most girls would be, Alli was very hesitant to talk to some guy she messaged, but after persistence, she went on this date. Now, Elliot and I were lucky enough to witness this magical moment because Alli made me come with her, just in case this guy was a creeper. And Joe didn't want to be on a 2-on-1 with sisters because that would just be weird, so he brought his brother.
So Joe was like, oh yeah, my younger brother's gonna come with too. And she's like, oh sweet, my sister's gonna come with too. We're like, oh hell yeah, double date. Yeah, and then you got a text back, yeah, she's pregnant and married.
We expected to show up to find some weird guy that we would have to try to ditch a half an hour later. But instead, we showed up to Joe Wise's smiling face. And you guys all know Joe Wise, so you knew that it was game over right away.
And Alli went and grabbed something to drink, and Joe leans over to me and goes, man, she is so hot.
A little small chit-chat here and there, and within an hour, he was headed back with us to our parents' house to meet the family.
I was excited for Joe because it felt like it was the first time we all met, but it felt like we knew each other for years.
From there, it didn't take long, and after that date, we all just knew. Joe, we are so incredibly lucky to have you join our family. You've basically been Uncle Joe to the boys since the beginning, and you've always felt like that missing piece in Alli's life. I honestly didn't know if I would ever really like that guy my baby sister was gonna marry, but I suppose you'll do. Cheers to Alli and Joe and a lifetime of happiness. We love you guys.
Joe Wise.
Yeah.
I cannot believe we are finally here. There's been so many unknowns this year, but we finally made it. You've been so patient with me through all of this, but I'm not really surprised because you've been patient with me since the day I met you. When I showed up to our first date an hour late and with my sister. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Allison. Who you are to me is difficult to put into words, but as promised, here are my vows to you. And no, I did not write these last night. To me, you're the rock to my roll, peanut butter to my jelly, and hot dogs to my mac and cheese. My best friend. You're everything that I'm not, and together we're one.
I promise to always put you first and to love you all the days of my life. I think my favorite thing about you is that you are so kind and so patient and you see the good in everyone and everything. You light up the room when you walk into it, and I can't wait to be right next to you doing just that. You loved me with such grace and came into my life at a time that I didn't think I needed anyone. But I was so wrong. You are everything that I could have ever dreamed about and more. I love you terribly.
Somehow how Joe Wise ever got Alli to agree to marry him, a girl that was way out of his league. But I think it was one point in time when one of your first dates, you were on our front steps at our house, and Joe Wise said, "Well, I guess you probably never kissed a guy with a beard before, have you?" And I think that's like fishing with dynamite. So I think that was just the start of all this, and the way you two look at each other, just today and every day, the sparkle in your eyes is pretty impressive, and it's there today, and it'll be there tomorrow, and for a long, long time. So congratulations, you two, and I'm glad to be part of all this, and start working on the curly-haired granddaughter, because if we don't, we're gonna have a little rebate coming back on this wedding, okay? All right. And thank you all for coming tonight. All and the aunts, Judy, Mary, Kathy, grandmas, grandpas, and all the friends that helped out. So thank you, everybody. And Skol Vikings.
You always have the answer to all my questions. And miraculously, it always seems to be right. Trust me. You are totally selfless and always make sure others are taken care of first. I respect your hard work, your love for your family, and devotion to us. You've opened my life to so much good and given me the love and joy so many people in the world wish for. Through it all, sickness, health, happiness, and sadness, I will always be there for you, and you will always have my heart. I love you.